Hello ladies and gentlemen, Paul Flahan here with Paul's iOS Device with a quick demonstration on what was released today on March 10th, 2014 in iOS 7.1. 7.1 was released earlier today to the public, so let's go ahead and show some of the new features. First I'm going to show off Control Center. It's got a little more bounce to it, so it's got a little more character. Next, the phone and messages apps are not as vibrant. The buttons, you can go to Settings, General, Accessibility, and you can turn on button shapes. The buttons are now text, but if you turn button shapes on, all the buttons now have a distinguishable shape, showing you that it is a button, but I still prefer the actual text itself. Next, let's look at the calendar. The calendar is a little bit more usable now. It's got a list view at the bottom by tapping this button up top. And now when you go through your days, you'll see a list view at the bottom. It's very small, but you just gotta live with it. Or you just download a third-party app for a calendar. Next, let's take a look at the contrast with the button shapes. Just go into Settings, General, Accessibility, and you scroll down even more and you've got increased contrast, and you can reduce the transparency. So say here in the Control Center it's pretty transparent. Turn that on, it's not as transparent. And then you can also darken the colors and reduce the white point. So I don't know if you can see that here. Reducing the white point makes the whites a little more gray. Let's turn that on. And darken colors. So things are a little bit, you got more contrast and easier to see and read. You got all those turned on. Now, also, if you've noticed that the transitions are much faster, not a whole lot faster, but in the previous version it took roughly a second for a folder to open or an app to open. Now I think it's around 3/4 of a second, so it's a little bit faster and smoother. I prefer this over the previous speed. And next we've got the dialer, the phone dialer. So pardon, I'm gonna pull my phone out of the shot here to make sure no numbers come up. Okay, now here's the dialer. As you can see, it's rounded now. And same with, say you call someone, now you've got a rounded end button. So the dialer is updated with rounded buttons. And now let's take a look at wallpapers. You know, you normally have the reduce the motion in the background. I don't know if you can see it here in the camera, but you can go to Settings, Wallpapers and Brightness, select your wallpaper, and you can turn off the perspective zoom. You can turn that off, so now your wallpapers will not move in the background, but you'll still get the zoom in and zoom out effect while opening an app or opening a folder. So I like that a lot better. I'm not the biggest fan of the movement in the background, but I do like the zoom in and zoom out effect that you get with opening folders and apps. And then finally, actually this is second to last, the power button. You turn the phone off. You got a more rounded theme here, as you can see. And then finally in the camera, you got this HDR Auto, and you can change that just by tapping on HDR Auto. You can turn HDR on or HDR off. And what HDR Auto is that in iOS 7.1, it will automatically choose the best photo from your HDR snaps. So you take multiple HDR photos of the same thing, it's HDR Auto is going to find the best photo out of that group. So that is a bunch of features. You also got CarPlay. You've got Touch ID, and passcode is now moved to the main settings page and is not buried in the general tab. So there's a bunch more bug fixes and tweaks in iOS 7.1, but these were the main features of iOS 7.1. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like it, as it is the easiest way to help out the channel. Thanks for watching, and God bless.